How you doing, folks? Mike Lawson, Lawson Outdoors, and today we have another exciting video for you. Today we'll be testing again the Zastava 9mm M88A handgun, and I've done a review on this handgun, and in that review we said that it was an awesome budget pistol slash WROL pistol slash SHTF pistol. And today we got a test for it, and this test goes along with the WROL situation or an SHTF situation where, like say a suburban neighborhood, you are in a WROL situation where rule of law is, you're without rule of law. The police system, the judicial system has broken down, everything is gone crazy and it's a panic, and you're in a suburban neighborhood, and most suburban neighborhoods, they have houses that are 5 feet apart. So your neighbors that hopefully you have a good relationship with your neighbors, but you might have people that roll up in your neighborhood and try to take it by force, try to rape, pillage, and steal. So in this situation, let me take the camera and I'll walk you through it. But what we have here is a mock 5 foot, probably about almost 5 foot concrete wall setup. And what we'll do is to see what kind of penetration what we get from a 9mm round, a full metal jacket 9mm round. So why full metal jacket? Because they're cheap. So I got my bad boy scarecrow right here. This is actually the scarecrow that I made for our garden, and you see I have water bottles strapped to his chest area to form like a chest area, so we can see if we actually have impact or penetration through the actual concrete. And in some type of suburban neighborhood setting or some type of inner city setting to where they have apartments with concrete walls, and you have people running around all crazy in a time where you're without rule of law. The judicial system or the police protection system or the emergency system has broken down, and there's riots, there's chaos, and you might have people rolling up trying to rape, pillage, or steal, and that's what we'll test with this handgun. And it's really a test of the 9mm caliber basically, but this handgun it's actually a test of it also, because in this situation, I'm not going to do a whole bunch of talking. In this situation, you might have to stretch this handgun out to 40 and 50 yards, way out of the range of almost any handgun. Most people in a suburban setting, they won't have let me put the camera back down. They won't have an AR-15 setup. They won't have a Mosin again. Even though it's cheap. Most suburban type people that stay in apartments, they won't go out and buy those type weapons because they are more in the world system of this is suburbia. We have the police. We don't need it. Versus people that stay out here in the country like me. In the country, you're going to come in contact with high caliber rifle rounds, 30-06, 270, 223 rounds. You're going to come in contact with more rifle rounds out here in the country setting, because we are armed out here. People hunting out here. So handguns, the first thing you'll come in contact with is a rifle round, out here in the country. But in a suburban type environment where houses are close together in an apartment, it's mosquitoes out here and they're tearing me up. And in a situation where, in an apartment setting, people are not going to have those long guns with them. They're not going to have an AR-15 because, it might alarm the neighbors and they get called the police on. But today we're going to test out this handgun, and it's a good test. I mean, this is an awesome handgun for somebody that stays in suburbia or stays in an apartment, because they can easily conceal it, bring it into the house or whatever. They won't have to alarm people. So what we'll do is test the penetration, and I'm going to stretch out the range. I'm going to stand back about I don't have to show you, but 15 yards, 15 to 20 yards, and it's a real test of this handgun and a test of your marksmanship skills. So, you know, we have to practice with these handguns. You know, we have to practice with our firearms, because when the time may come, you know, you have to be skilled on that handgun or that rifle, because you might come in contact, or you might start firing on somebody that's out of the range of your handgun, and you have to have good marksmanship capabilities to actually put rounds on target. So, you know, today we'll test that out. Let me see. Hopefully my head wasn't cut off talking, but if it was, you know, fast forward through it or listen or whatever. So what we'll do is I'll put 8-round clip, 8-round magazine, sorry, not clip, 8-round magazine through this wall and see how much penetration we can get. You know, I have bad boy Scarecrow's head is sticking out of the top. You know, I had to get different kinds of brick, but you know, at the top of this wall, this you know, you might come in contact with walls with this kind of the red bricks, this, you know, a double brick wall or whatever, and you might come in contact with the cement block wall. So, you know, it's a good test. Nobody probably will have the accuracy, the marksmanship capability to take bad boy Scarecrow's head off at, you know, 20 to 25 or, you know, probably even 50 yards. You know, you in a firefight like that in a suburban neighborhood, you know, people are not going to go out there and try to get close up on people. So, you know, you'll be out there. You'll stretch out that handgun. So, you know, let's start the test, basically. So I'll set up the cameras and we'll get this test going at 25 yards. Try to. Okay, I'm stretched out to 20 yards. Let's start the test. Eight-round magazine. Let's go hot. Eight rounds off. Reload. Weapon on safe. Now this situation will be different because in a situation like that, you will be under stress. So this is different. We're shooting full metal jacket, federal full metal jacket. And these, take off my ears, these rounds are not going, you know, Winchester white box is a little hotter than this round. So these are decent rounds though. As you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I might have pulled some trying to aim at the head. But let's see what we have. Oh, we have an impact right here. Hopefully we caught it on our other cameras, but one did penetrate. And it was the one that hit right here. So penetration. So that full metal jacket, let's look at the back. No, actually, it probably was the one that went through right here, looks like. And it actually went straight through the in between the bricks. So that was a good shot right there. So we have one that found a crack in between the bricks and penetrated. So, you know, bad boy Scarecrow did take a hit right there. So let's try to 8 more rounds and see what kind of results we get. Okay, ears on. 8 more rounds loaded. Let's go. Safe. Bad boy Scarecrow tried to dive after the cover broke down, so I tried to hit him on the way down. Where handgun is empty. Slide forward. Let's go take a look. This can also be a test of the type of cover that you choose in a situation like this. You see bad boy Scarecrow, he's laid out all sprawled out. He's actually got hit the first set of 8 rounds testing, and you can see this one is empty, so he got hit again. So, you know, this is also a testament of what type of cover that you may want to choose, or how long you would want to stay in that cover. You know, a concrete wall or cement wall of this sort, you know, couldn't take a whole bunch of hits from a handgun. So, you know, you might want to roll up to this cover, take 3 or 4 shots, pow, 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 and roll on. You know, you don't want to get into a situation where you get caught and you panic and just freeze on this type of cover and you think it's good cover. I mean, as you see, a federal full metal jacket round penetrated this cover. 8 rounds, you know, penetrated this cover, and that full metal jacket is traveling at a 1120 something feet per second. So, you know, it's decent cover, but you definitely don't want to sit there and hide behind this. So, you know, this that is a testament to this, that a 9mm full metal jacket can penetrate. And you would ask, why are you using full metal jacket? Because it's the cheapest round. I mean, you wouldn't you're not going to stock too many hollow point rounds up, because those things are expensive. Let me sit the camera down. And you know, that 9mm round, you know, that hollow point is an expensive round to buy. You know, you only get, what, 20 in a box for $15 or something like that. So, you know, that full metal jacket in a WROL situation and a SHTF situation, a lot of people are going to be using full metal jacket rounds. So you see, for penetration, that's the best round to use, because you wouldn't want to use a hollow point in this situation. I mean, a hollow point is, we probably have to test that out, but I would say it wouldn't do much. You know, a hollow point is designed to mushroom, and a concrete situation where you need a little bit of penetration, you know, it wouldn't be the best round to choose. So, you know, let's load the rest. Let's load 2 more clips and see can we take this wall out. Okay, got 6 rounds loaded. I mean, 2 clips of 2 8-round magazines loaded up. Let's see what else we can do to this wall. Safety off. Okay, I'm empty. Let's go take a look. Now, okay, take my ears off. Okay, and this, again, in a situation like this wall will actually be stronger because mortar, you know, will be used in making this wall. They'll have some kind of compound, you know, joining these bricks together, and it'll actually be a little more sturdy. But as you can see, I tried to hit the bottom down here and a little bit of penetration, but I couldn't break the bricks apart to knock the wall down. But if you come behind here, you know, we have a little bit of carnage. But I ain't stepping over bad boy Scarecrow. But as you can see, it looks like we don't have a whole lot of penetration back here. Let me see. We have rounds going in, but we don't have rounds coming out. So, you know, right here you can kind of feel where it hit on the back of the on the inside of the brick, but it didn't actually break it. So, you know, like I said, with these Federal hollow points, I mean not Federal hollow points, but Federal full metal jacket, Winchester white box is a little bit hotter on their full metal jacket. But as you can see, I kind of spreaded the love on this wall. So, you know, if you aim at one spot and keep on drilling it, like, you know, like in that first situation that we were doing, you will get penetration. So, you know, on a few spread out shots on this kind of a wall, you know, it will stop a 9mm full metal jacket. But if you keep hitting consistently in the same spot, which that will be hard to do, you know, in a situation to where your stress level is extremely high, to where you have people returning fire on you, so it will be hard to do. You know, but basically, if you keep on, keep practicing with your handgun, that's first and foremost. And in these type of situations, you'll be ready, you know, and you probably won't be ready for it. Like, I want this to happen, I'm ready, you know, gung-ho about it. No, your marksmanship skills will be improved enough to where you can rely on them in an extremely stressful situation, you know. After 5 or 6 missed shots, you're gonna say, man, I'm yanking the trigger even though they're shooting at me. Let me try to slow, steady squeeze and get my grip right a little bit so I can return some accurate fire and, you know, take this guy out so I can roll on to somebody else. You know, somebody may be flanking me right now. I have to take this guy out. So, you know, even though he's shooting at me, let me go back to what I've learned and what I know and put that into practice. So, you know, and practice, practice, practice. Practice makes perfect. And, you know, practice not kind of hoping that this situation will happen, but just practice, you know, have the love of shooting to where you want to shoot accurately in the first place. So, you know, I don't want to make this video too long. We'll have another test coming up pretty soon on this handgun, the Zastava 9mm M88A. You know, this is my first handgun and I love it. I mean, I will not part with it. I will not sell it. You know, and I love it. You know, let me send the empty magazine. Send the hammer for it. You know, I love this handgun, and I haven't cleaned it since the last test, and you know, it's still shooting fine. I had no failure to feeds, no failure to ejects. 100% reliable today in a situation to where we were supposedly putting rounds down range on a target that was supposedly shooting back at us. So, you know, this handgun is extremely reliable for $260 some. You know, you can't beat it. So, you know, another video. Thank you guys for watching. You know, comment, like, subscribe, and you know, I just thank the Lord for today. We had an awesome day in church. We had a men and women's conference, and it was extremely awesome. We learned a whole lot. So, you know, to finish off the day like this, coming out here making a video for you guys, it kind of makes me happy. You know, I'm happy. I'm joyful. You know, the joy of the Lord is my strength. You know, I'm having a great day, an awesome day, and I hope you have the same. Lawson Outdoors, I'm out. You didn't actually think I was going to leave this wall standing, did you? No. This is Sparta!